Ichigo awakens by Talach, chapter 88, a separation for training with Ichigo. What's next on the agenda? Ichigo asked himself as he finished dressing and exited Hallibel's palace, the shark following behind her. Should I check up on Stark or the spot with Grimjaw? He came to a stop as Hallibel's Tritacion appeared before him. Is something the matter, girls? Jin says he needs you in the throne room. Mila Rosa answered, stepping forward. All knights are appearing in attendance as well. Ichigo looked back at Hallibel, thinking to what Ichibei told him about his future training. Fine, is everyone there? He asked, getting a nod from the Amazons. Excellent, let's go. He said before flashing to the meeting room. Hallibel and the Tres Bestias following behind. True to Mila's report, the room housed the many Rancor of Las Noches. The moment he spotted Jin, he made his way towards the captain. What's the news? The head captain said to tell you that everything is ready, and to have a maximum of 2 days for yourself before you go. The silver-haired fox said, I have a feeling that this should be an interesting journey for you. They wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't going to be productive. Ichigo returned, opening a garganta to the Soul Society. Hallibel, Niliel, want to come along? He asked the currently two strongest female Rancor. Yay, field trip. Niliel cheered excitedly as she leaped into the portal. Hallibel being silent as she followed Ichigo. Ichigo turned back to the Rancor, looking to their king expectantly. When I return, I plan to be a stronger and better person. Ichigo answered them, and I want you all to be the same, stronger and better. All of Las Noches. I expect great things when I return. And with that, he joined Nell and Tim, and shot towards Soul Society. The journey went by in a flash, and soon they exited the emptiness of a void and into the realm of Soul Reapers. They landed in the courtyard of Squad 1 meeting hall, where Ichigo was promptly punched in the face. What the hell is this? Leaving to train nonsense. Tatsuki demanded, rubbing her sore knuckles while Uryu chatted and Orihime watched from a distance and tried to calm down the Rancor. It's at the point of you being transferred to Yamamoto's squad was so he could oversee your training. Now you have to disappear for who knows how long for a different training. It's not like we're innocent. Tatsuki, Uryu chimed in, being a voice of reason among the group. We're being assigned to travel the world and experience it for ourselves. Same thing, yeah, but at least we can keep in touch. He's going completely off the grid. Tatsuki returned and likely would have continued before Jojo interrupted him. If you're done, the head captain is waiting, he said with a firm tone as the kids got up and proceeded up the stairs. With Ichigo's permission, Nell and Hallibel were allowed to explore the Serite while he went to the meeting. Inside the meeting hall was Yamamoto and Ichibei Hyosube. There is no denying that you've accomplished many fates that most would deem suicidal or impossible. Genryu says to start him, involving invading Soul Society, defying ancient laws and traditions that have held for 2,000 years, storming the realm of the Hollows, stopping the destruction of the world, and imbalance of souls time and time again. All you have done with your friends and allies at your back, that must change. This surprised the human teens. While admirable to have such faith and trust in your allies, you have the idea of dropping whatever you're doing to help them. Should they be in trouble? Ichibei continued. But what if you are in a situation where you can't afford distractions, where you can't look back and help, where you absolutely cannot interfere? The group looked to each other, knowing that they'd likely defy all that and charge in to save the lives of their allies. Shinigami are not meant to be heroes or judges. Yamamoto resumed. We are balancers, meant to keep the flows of souls in reincarnation intact, lest reality collapse into ruin. While preferable to avoid it, if it means destroying a great evil or threat to that balance, then you must be ready to sacrifice lives, your allies or your own. Yamamoto looked at Ichigo. My boy, you are ready to throw yourself in the eye of the storm because you know you are powerful, so strong that you believe that only you should be the sacrifice because you can prevent it. You must be put into a spot where you cannot intervene yourself in the affairs of the living, or only the matters of the dead. Ichigo wanted to protest that there was nothing wrong with what he's done, but recognized that he always threw himself into the fire. The only reason he wasn't involved with Reika was because he was out of commission. The rest of you need to learn to struggle without the idea of your friends coming to your rescue and vice versa. Ichibe added, looking to the rest. All of you are traveling the world, see new things, feel new experiences, and grow as people. The rest of the teens nodded. Ichigo noticed that they didn't get nearly as much detail as to what the training is to be. You can begin in another 2 days. Till then, enjoy yourselves. The monk said with a smile. Remember that you visit your friends and teachers, Ichigo. Yamamoto advised before dismissing the group. Squad 12, Matsuo Research Department. Download nearly complete, Nemu said as she and Urahara kept an eye on the computer monitor. So while Nozomi slept inside a Reishi tube with a helmet attached to her head, giving her all the knowledge and research data she would need in her new station. Down the hall were the muffled screams of agony as Maguri drained Kagarosa's brain and Sapakto's spirit into the system that downloaded everything. And soon his cries ended, and seconds after that, Nemu announced the completion of the project. Let her out, Urahara ordered, leading Nemu to drain the tube and open it for Nozomi to fall out of it. Kisuke caught her and carried her to Nemu. Get her dressed and move to a bed. Run diagnostics and tell us when she wakes up. Nemu nodded and took the sleeping Nozomi away. When she was out, Maruri came in with Ichigo following behind. Ichigo, I'm so glad you're here. Indeed, he's so lucky to have such a rare opportunity. Maruri hissed out, jealous of what Ichigo is getting to do. A whole new world of research opportunities, and they're sending a superpowered child with no. He continued to rant which Ichigo and Urahara ignored him. Right now, while he's doing that, I wanted to give you a care package for your trip. Kisuke said, pulling Ichigo along to his office with Mayuri following him. Now let's see. He exclaimed as he pulled out a really thick carrying case. Now, like Mayuri is complaining about, research information is key to learning about your enemies. So here's my assignment to you, he said before opening the case, folding out more and more. Chemistry, dissection, engineering sets, a computer for data storage and analysis, and a record for your thoughts. He held a voice recorder and the piece of pen, pushing the button and playing the message inside. I guess now is as good as time as any. Congratulations on graduating. It cheered in Kisuke's voice. My high school, college, or from Yama's training. Ichigo asked as Kisuke compacted everything again. Any of them. It's just more practical now with what's to come. I want you to learn everything you can about where you will be. The scientist answered as he gave Ichigo his gift. Maruri came next to Ichigo, still scowling, holding up his own case. I expected to use these and record the results, he said, revealing the context to be various chemicals and minerals, along with the receipt book for the various drugs and poisons he devised. Thanks, Ichigo said. I think, he thought as he held the two cases. They should give me something to do in my downtime, he said before leaving the labs, heading for the Keto Core barracks next. Shino's Academy. I still can't believe that he's leaving. Carden growled, waiting for her next class to start. Yuzu and her were in the new Hollow Combat classroom, and both still reeling from the news Ichigo gave them before he ran off to Wakemundo. Ishin tried to control the damage, but none of the women in the Kurosaki family were happy about Ichigo leaving for whatever it was he was doing. Yuzu's eyes were still a little puffy from crying. The only benefit the girls had from this was that for once, everyone in the class left them alone. Just you wait, Ichini. When you get back, we'll be the strongest in the school. Yeah, Yuzu said, cheering up ever so slightly. Let's do it, Karin. And just then the door slammed open, revealing a man with messed up, spiky, reddish brown hair. Okay, my name's Kakano Shido, and I'll be your new teacher. He introduced himself, followed by Yin and Yang. These two are my assistants, and welcome to Hollow Combat. I was once part of a unit that chased a group of Hollows through Garganta and into Wakemundo, where I stayed for centuries of fighting and killing Hollows non-stop. These are my credentials. You will listen and follow my instructions, and you will become stronger Soul Reapers. Understood? He said hard and firm as he scanned the crowd, immediately identifying Ichigo's sisters. They held the most determined gaze in their eyes, daring him to break them in this course. He could only smile. Good, then let's begin. Yin Yang, bring in the first test. With that, the two Rankar pulled in a case full of Hollows. Keto Corp base. Ichigo Ichigo went into the halls of the spell masters of Soul Society, hearing a faint hum in the back of his mind. He was looking for Tessai and Hachi, but the cause of the Hyokoku was beginning to distract him, and before he realized it, he found himself in the storage room where that sphere was locked away. It slept but still called to him, wishing to reunite with the one it was linked to. He was brought out of his trance by a tap on his shoulder from Tessai. It's enough that you have all the power that you do, Ichigo, the Kido Master said. You don't need it for where you're going. Tell it to sleep. Ichigo nodded, refusing to rely on the sphere unless as the last resort. Seconds later, with his intent feeding it, the calm silence and the Hyokoku was back to its dim rest. Very good. Now let's go, he said as they left the storage to head back to his office. Unfortunately, Ichigo, the only hero arts left for you to learn are forbidden spells and the hidden arts, neither of which can be passed down without the permission of the Central 46 and the Royal Guards, respectively. He then pulled out a pair of thick scrolls. Fortunately, that useless body of Burkats is now gone, and the old monk insists that you learn all you can. That's oddly convenient. Ichigo replied as he took the scrolls. Then there was a thundering explosion that rocked the very foundation of the stair. What was that? Ichigo shouted in alarm, seeing a giant tower of flame in the distance. I'm sure it's just the head captain taking care of a few pests. Tessai quickly said. Anyways, you should visit Yoruichi next. She had something she wanted to teach you. Squad 2 training grounds. Ichigo made his way to the sparring fields of the 2nd Division, finding Yoruichi watching Soifun and Tatsuki sparring with each other. Yoruichi noticed him, smiling sweetly to her student before flashing in front of him with her fist raised. The hybrid was unable to block the sudden attack that sent him flying back and away from the martial artist. He tumbled for a bit before recovering, just in time to receive another flurry of punches from the dark-skinned noble. Been a while since we did this, he thought as he blocked and dodged half of the attacks while absorbing the other half. She's not holding back, is she? He grunted in pain as she laid another blow out into his gut, and then dampened by his blood. The second she backed away, he threw his own punches. Yoruichi caught them and used the fist as a springboard to jump off and away from the hybrid. Ichigo dashed after her. He managed to reach her before she touched the ground and unleashed his own attack, slightly lower than hers, but with more power behind them. She did a better job at avoiding the attacks, but he managed to get a few in. The last kick he threw, she blocked with her crossed arms, but was sent flying back, tearing a deep gouge in the ground as she stayed on her feet. That's enough, she said, shaking her arms to relieve the throbbing. Old man's been doing good in teaching you, but there's one thing he can't teach you. Ready, girls? She asked her two students as they stood to Yoruichi's side. The case and uniform of the Omitsuki commander is without a back or sleeve because of the highest level of Hakuda. She explained as they began concentrating the Reishi. It's called Shunko, she said as they exploded with power. Ichigo recognizing the high density Kido flowing into their arms and legs, channeling Kido into the limbs. Ichigo guessed, analyzing the display as they powered down. I can see how it destroys anything on your back and arms. How am I supposed to use that? I wear this Reiatsu suppressant suit for a good reason, Yoruichi. There's been a lot of work in that. Soifun said, presenting him with a new suit, and Shihakusho, Kirio Kifune, the Zero Squad worked with Shuten Maru and Kisuke to weave a new fabric, mixing the idea of Zaraki seal. This will devour your reishi and clothe you. If it gets damaged, it will use your reishi to restore itself. Shunko is very powerful and very dangerous, Ichigo. Yoruichi continued as Ichigo took his new Shihakusho. I want you to practice it, but try to never need it. Understood. Ichigo returned. Thanks, girls. Now I have to get to Rankiku. She said she wanted me for something, he said, not noticing Tatsuki's blush. With Uryu and Chad. Think he still doesn't know? Uryu asked as he and Chad prepared their bags, filled with clothes and other gadgets for their mission. Orihime and Tatsuki returned to the world of living to recover a certain someone for the last day while Rukia was with the two Rakar. He'd never agree if he did. That's for certain. Chad agreed as he took some medicine that Urahara made to help recover from his use of the now forbidden power in his Fullbringer. Thinking back to getting these missions, these his mission's orders. You said it yourself that your boss was sending out Quincy to gather new recruits. So the captain commander is sending you, Orihime, Tatsuki, me, and the others, and the other living Fullbringers out to try and stop them. What I don't quite understand is why he said Shinigami are locked to this land, like they were restrained to Japan alone. Would you continue trying to figure out what he could mean? Maybe that's why Yuba accomplished as much as he did. The Godai couldn't get to him. The question is why? Isn't it because the Soul King? Isn't it because the Soul King is here? Chad guessed. Maybe there's something else. 2 days later, Ichigo stood before a modified Senkemon, one that was destined to take him to where he was going. He was wearing his new stealing clothes, a ring that was supposed to stabilize his power to an appropriate level, and a Kido seal that was holding all of the stuff that his teachers gave him to use. Uryu, Chad, Orihime, and Tatsuki had to leave travel the world before him. He said his goodbyes as they left Soul Society. Now all of his remaining friends in the Gotai stood there with him as he prepared for his journey. Remember, Ichigo, you are there to learn, not to intervene. Yamamoto reminded him. I understand, Sensei, he said as the Senkemon opened him. Now, tell those knights, tell those knights of mine to behave themselves. The Rankan nodded. Rookie, he started before said Soul Reaper pulled him down for a kiss. When the separated Rangiko did the same, with Senna jumping on him for hers after that. I'm so proud of that boy, Ishin said, earning a slap from Masaki. Take care of yourself, son. I will, Ichigo said, dashing head first into the Senkemon. He felt ready for anything you could throw at him. Illustrated Guide to Soul Reapers, pest control. And this is the end. A former C-46 judge declared several of his colleagues and an army of outlaws standing ready. With that damn abomination Ichigo disappearing, we shall restore the order of the Sterate and Gotai 13. You will all be Netsuji Jigoku. Yamamoto said, having listened to enough before deciding to act. A column of flame erupted from beneath the assembled group and burned them to ashes. That was quite gratifying. How long have I been waiting to do that? End of chapter 88. Okay, as far as I can tell, the Talacha made we'll start a different story, where Ichigo's basically going to different dimensions, basically doing crossovers with different animes, and he's going to do that right now as well, and basically focus on everyone else traveling around the world, and that's pretty much just it. Ichigo Awakens by Talacha, chapter 90, Quincy in London, with Uryu. The young Quincy was sitting on a double-deck bus, passing through the streets of the city, rubbing his fingers along the badge he was given solely for the trip. He was in his Quincy fashion, the Soul Reaper garb, blending in better than if he wore his usual white reflecting on the mission he was given. His friends were all around the world, searching for Quincy belonging to the Vanderreich. While he was told to go find any information he could in the only other likely place to have information on the enemy, the western branch of society, located in the hidden side of London, this close to his destination. He couldn't help but think back to when he was told about this. Flashback, Uryu, you're going to London to look for any information on Yukbaka in the western branch of Soul Society. Ishin told the Quincy, handing him a badge in the shape of a shield with SSMB on the face and a coin with the same shield emblem. Yamamoto sent them a message to expect your coming, but you should still be careful considering the mess that Yukbaka's Quincy made. Believe that you'll be walking on in the eggshells the entire time. He finished, finally giving Uryu the chance to ask him. Western branch of Soul Society, he asked. Never hearing of multiple branches of the afterlife. It did make sense though, since the Soul Society he knew only covered Japan while mankind was all over the world. What does the Shinigami call themselves there? They're not actual Soul Reapers, Uryu, and they don't really deal with the dead. Ishin said, confusing the archer. In these cases, Uryu, they're closer to what the Quincy could have been had there not been such intense animosity between Shinigami and Quincy. They see that which is meant to be unseen and protect the world, protect the normal living folk from the monsters. I personally haven't been there myself, but I've heard that you'll be dealing with witches, wizards, and dragons. Flashback. This coin is supposed to get me to this reverse London place. Would you thought not fiddling with the coin as he made his way to where he sensed a strong concentration of Leishi. It felt similar to St. Kimon Gate, but there was also two more notable presences there. Were they the members of Reverse London, or were they dragons? Either way, he felt obligated to act and began running to his apparent destination. It was a run-down abandoned alley, the kind no one would spare a second glance down. With an enormous classic style dragon with pitch black scales digging its head in a hole where he heard two people screaming. So that's a dragon, Uryu said, analyzing the beast. Not exactly at the Menos level, but I should still be careful. Pull through this or sushi, because I'll definitely protect you. He heard one of the people yell out as he grabbed a Celis Snyder. In an instant, he formed a blade and charged towards the serpent. The blade easily cut through the scales and flesh of the beast, causing it to cry out in pain. When he did that, a column of light rings appeared behind the dragon, with two girls in school uniforms coming out of it. There it is, the Arc Dragon. One of them yelled out. A girl with blonde pigtails. With her was another girl with long black hair that seemed completely disinterested. Both were riding so smaller creatures that seemed like dragon model kits. Hey, what's that down there? The blonde girl asked as the dragon swept its tail at Uryu, forcing him to jump back. Is that Noelle? Show me your panties. The dragon roared out, surprising everyone. Uryu was still processing what the dragon roared out when the girl, Noelle, he thought, started calling out for someone named Balgo. Noelle is flying. When one of the guys, dirty blonde hair with the dark hoodie and pants holding a small dog, cried out while his buddy looked on in shock. He wasn't the interesting one. That would be the other guy, a stocky man with curly black hair and a pitch black spirit ribbon when Uryu looked at it. Forget this, Balgo, let's get out of here. The stocky guy yelled out as he turned and ran. This is getting crazy. The blonde witch started flying towards the fleeing man. Stop, I think that's wait, Nini, the tracker says there are two. Uryu and the other witch called out just as the human's head burst into some weird spiral maul with Nini in the middle of its mouth. The witch barely managed to get out of the new dragon's mouth, getting a badly broken arm in the process. I thought I could split you all up and pick you off one by one. The human form peeled off like a reptile exploding out of its skin, revealing an amorphous beast with a cone-shaped head that unwound like a screw. The dragon turned attention to Uryu. You don't smell like a wizard. What are you? The panty dragon behind Uryu soon exploded as the other witch got next to Uryu. That's what I want to know too, she said, holding up some odd-looking flintlock pistol at the dragon. He's a Quincy Noel. The Nini's accused of shocking the black-haired witch, a member of the race of that damned near destroy the balance of souls. Nini pointed her gun at Uryu, who kept his focus on the dragon. For all their kill them all attitude towards their monsters, you think they managed to clean up the mess of you bastards? And you should remember to prioritize your targets. Uryu said, shoving the witch out of the way while the dragon's mouth unwound to try and eat both her and him. Uryu reinforced his body with blue venom, letting the teeth of the dragon scrape harmlessly on his skin before backhanding the beast away from him and back towards Nini, which the dragon was capitalizing on by attempting to eat her now. She was shoved out of the way by Balgo, who got his back torn up by fangs as he looked at the dragon and recoiled in shock at seeing the beast for the first time. You should have run, Balgo, the dragon said, almost sounding sorry for its friend. If this is the quality of opponents I can expect to face, then I am severely disappointed. Uryu taunted before the dragon was reduced to nothing by a single arrow shot from a small bow in the Quincy's hand. He turned back around to come face to face with a pair of toyish pistols. Are you explaining what the hell is going on, Quincy? Nini demanded while Noelle kept her calm. Make it snappy before we shoot you. She threatened only to instantly be disarmed and restrained while Noelle was kicked into the side of a building. Both of you have ranged weapons. Uryu started lecturing as he planted a foot on the witch's neck and readied his bow to shoot the other one. You never stand too close to your target unless you want to gamble your reflexes against theirs. As for what I'm doing here, do either of you know the name Uryu Ishida? He asked, getting no answer from either witch. Suddenly, Noelle's phone started going off, playing a Dragon Ball theme, and she looked to the Quincy. Uryu nodded and she answered her phone. Chief, we have a situation here, she immediately said into her phone, uncaring about the Quincy aiming his bow at her. Does it involve a Quincy? The man's voice responded back, surprising the witch. I just heard about it myself and I still can't believe the news. Asking for identification. Noel looked back to Uryu. Do you have an ID? She asked, surprising the other witch under Uryu's heel. Without releasing his bow, Uryu dug out of the badge he was given, specifically for this mission, and tossed it to Stork, to the Stork witch. She caught it and began reading off the information. Soul Society main branch, Uryu Ishida, Squad 15, Lieutenant. How the hell is Quincy a member of that ghost club? Nini demanded. And there's only 13 squads. Soul Society has undergone some changes in the last year. Uryu answered, removing his foot and helping the girl up, also ignoring her indignant cries as she quickly rested her arm so the bones would be back in the proper place. He began to walk to Noelle, who put her phone on speaker. Do you know why I'm here? I can't say that I do. This is the first anyone here has heard from the Soul Society in centuries. The man responded. I only heard we were expecting a high-ranking member of the Gotai to visit. I was only told that the person was a Quincy after I sent those two to eliminate the Dark Dragon in the area, and you appeared on the radar. Well, the Gotai has been undergoing several reforms over the last year. Uryu started to explain, all because the Quincy Emperor is still alive and the war is coming back. A terrified silence washed over everyone, except for Balgo, who had no idea what was happening. I'm here because the Captain Commander thinks that the West Branch has some information that might prove useful. Why would a Quincy turn against his own kind? The blonde witch asked Glenn Uryu. Because even I know the kind of monster Yubak is, and want to stop him. The Quincy answered. Fine. Welcome to Reverse London. The chief finally said. Nihashi, Nini, you two are being reassigned to his escort. The old man in charge of the Gotai seems to trust that Quincy. Might as well let him do his job. And if he does anything funny, contact the Sabers. Neither of you can take on someone that earned the rank of lieutenant in the Gotai. Nini got mad, snatched the phone away, and began yelling at her boss, who brushed everything she said aside. Is this normal? Uryu asked of Noelle, who could only nod and confirm it. And here I thought I was finally going to escape this. Happens a lot with your group, she asked. My captain is a man-child that only does work when we force him to his desk, and when he's protecting the city, as he's been worrying about Lisa ever since he got on that plane to London. Illustrated guide to Soul Reapers, Quincy. Differences. So in short, we're still living and have a constant flow of new ideas on how to deal. We domesticate and tame our beast, and we didn't need almost 2,000 years of stagnation to decide to change something. Nini bragged while Uryu looked through a history book dating back to Yubak's kingdom. But I'll give those Soul Reapers barbarians this. They finally decide to stop killing everything. So why do you kill dark dragons? Uryu asked, surprising the blonde, but she was still able to answer. Because they're dangerous monsters that will kill innocent people. Now can you imagine if all dragons were like that? Uryu returned, shocking the witch. If they couldn't be tamed and just continue to kill and eat without end, that's our problem with hollows, and it's why we just keep killing them. The only change to that was after that horrific and illegal experiments by someone that wanted to conquer the whole world, and they are included because hollows would be useful against Quincy, which also threatened the balance of souls. He closed the book, putting it on the table before grabbing the next. There's the difference. You have the leeway we can't afford. Nini couldn't respond as she tried to imagine if all the dragons were like dark dragons. Haunted one. So, someone wanted to explain this, Uryu asked, pointing to Balgo, who now had a leash and collar around his neck. Well, the kid was bitten by a dragon and became what we call a haunted one. It said the witch boss, Billy Banks Jr., a man in a green cap and jacket with very shaggy hair and a crooked cigar in his mouth. Biologically, they're classified as a type of dragon and therefore under our care, like a pet. Uryu guessed, looking at the boy in question. Because the Rankar have way more dignity than that. Noel, show me your panties. The dog on Balgo's head suddenly said, causing the witch to start chasing him with intent to kill. I think I prefer Mayuri to this place. Uryu decided. End of chapter 90.